Hi, I'm Timothy Linsdau. I'm a video producer and Christian, and civics is important to me. And I want to know what launch is intended for the U.S. again. See in the paper today that another migrant caravan ready to go north. And this one reported from, I believe it's Honduras, Guatemala, said this could be as much as 15,000 people. Now, if that doesn't start to sound like an invasion, I don't know what is. But the sad part about launching such a large group of people, it's unsafe in every way for them to go across Mexico. Mexico is not equipped to handle those numbers. We know from the last one that came up here, I ended up in Tijuana. Tijuana is struggling like crazy to take care of them. They don't have the money, the ability to do that. Our immigrant system has an order in which to take people seeking asylum. That's a large number of people. It takes time to get through all of them. So what are you going to do? Hang on a second here. So here we are again. And let me take a look at some of the details why this is going on. Tijuana-San Diego border has already stretched to the breaking point, as this article says. Some people have, they say that some are going to stay in the southern states of Mexico, Chiapas and Oaxaca. There seems to be that there's going to be some work there. Some have been offered and some are getting work. But that's a large number, and the number of Mexican immigrants we get in the U.S. to find work, that's a lot of pressure on Mexico. Their president, Obrador, pledged to deal with some of this economic issue, and he has promised some, government works projects. Well, that's not new for the government to offer such things. But one thing they want to do is plant 2 million trees. I guess that's good down there. They want to construct a 930-mile railroad that'll join Mexico and several of the Central American states. Now that might not be a bad idea, as long as they're not trying to do a bullet train to California. Seems to never be able to end. But maybe that will help them and move people around a little bit easier, a little bit safer. And it would be, it says here, thousands of jobs, which would be terrific. These countries, their economies seem to be in shambles. As people are poor, living off $6 a day if they're lucky. I understand that's, it's a terrible thing. And who steps up to the plate? Good old US of A. US of A in this plan, Mexico and the U.S. sat down and developed a plan to implement $25 billion towards one of these, or several projects, I should say, in the next 5 years. The U.S. has contributed $4.8 billion to Mexico and $5.8 billion to the northern triangle of countries in Central America. That's Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Here we go again. People launch attacks on the U.S., not caring, not doing enough. We're giving billions of dollars to people. Does it get to where it needs to go, and to whom it needs to go to? How do we even know? But we are a generous people. We know that we're extremely prosperous, accomplished a lot, doing a lot, trying to improve people's lives, and understand it's tough in other parts of the world. Well, here we are. We're sending them money to get on their feet, accomplish, get things going. Who knows how that might go? We can hope for the best. But and interestingly enough, this money is allocated I believe most of it. Most of the United States funding will be allocated from existing aid programs, so it's not really that much new. So American empathy comes to the rescue. You know, we care. One of the sad things about people moving in such volume is they become, susceptible to human trafficking and, cartel gangs and who knows what all else. It's a shame. You've probably seen it in the news. A couple of kids died in Border Patrol custody. What the detail is, who knows? You got a mix of people, immigrant people from poor countries who might not have the proper vaccinations, whatever it is. That could be. It doesn't have to be, it just could be. And those kids got sick and they passed away. Which is, that's terrible. And I understand that. The new caravan on Facebook is getting a pretty dim view of the people of Mexico, by the way. There was violence between Mexicans and the Honduran caravan down in Tijuana just recently. People throwing rocks at each other. So they're not just throwing rocks at Border Patrol, but each other. The Mexican citizens in Tijuana, they have a sense of nationalism. If they're struggling, these caravans are making it more difficult for them. So, we get sewer spills on this side that flow into the Tijuana River Valley, and then they flow out into the ocean, and then they flow north with the currents and spoil beaches all the way up to Coronado. Any of you are familiar with the island of Coronado and its incredibly beautiful beach and hotel there. It affects all of those beaches financially and health-wise. And they need the money to fix their sewer system. So there you are. Okay. The capturing international attention from the last caravan, as you may very well know. Criminals stalk these routes for these poor people, so it's always dangerous, always difficult. Taxes Mexico's government to try to protect them. It's a mess, and there's different Pueblo Sin Fronteras was involved with that last caravan, a immigrant activist group. They were hardly known in the U.S. until that caravan, and people are becoming upset with them because they're probably promising these people things that aren't true, creating political and civil unrest. Not a good thing. There are probably other organizations that do these things. There's one, I think, the El Diario de Chiapas, reported from the new caravan participants eventually plan to make their way to Tijuana, but not immediately. What does that mean, not immediately? Tijuana's already overloaded. If they're going to spread people out, then that means more care and keeping people safe. It's just, here we go again. Some other violence. 2 people threw a canister of tear gas into the shelter that the Hondurans were staying in to show you the animosity going on down there. 2 teenagers were killed in Tijuana. It's a dangerous place. There's been over 2,000 homicides in Tijuana this year. Sad, sad story. So, you know, you hope that the leaders, you know, convince them not to do these journeys. I mean, everything's dangerous about them. Kids die, people get enslaved or hurt by cartels, or they get forced to carry drugs across the border. I mean, it's a crazy mess. So they're almost, you know, they're as vulnerable as ever. Mexico, I think, is getting a challenge that the U.S. has faced for years, because usually immigrants pass right through Mexico to get here. And here, in those numbers, they can't move like that, can't move quickly, so there they are. And Mexicans don't want people starving to death any more than anybody else. So it's a sad situation that seems to be endless. You know, politically, should we be down there doing what we can in Central America? You know, we tried to fix the Middle East. Where did that get? You know, we're good-hearted people. We're generous. We try to help people. But wow, take your foot off the pedal down there, folks, and think about what you're doing. Difficult. Before they launch another attack on our border, if you will. Now, of course, everybody will jump. Oh, man, they're not attacking. Well, they actually do. They start throwing rocks, creating a lot of trouble. Out of hopes for a miracle, out of hopes for a big change that could happen over time, but it's not going to happen instantly. I know it's a terrible and tough thing. So, on that note, we got the new year coming up. We'll hope for better. So I'm Timothy Linsdau. Like and comment on my video and subscribe to my channel if you will. Thank you very much. Bye now.